Hey guys, this is Station Broadcast episode number 4, coming from yours truly. I'm here to answer some of your guys' questions today. So, without further ado, we'll go ahead and we'll get right into it. So, starting off, we'll do the one of the most generic questions that we could possibly do. Crank flip a day. My boy Harris came at me with a good question. Favorite rider and why? So I'm really bad at choosing favorites normally. So it kind of changes with time. So I'll just go ahead and say, as of right now, my favorite rider would have to be Dan Foley. He's got like such a sick, really smooth, really flawless style of riding, which I'm really into. He's very versatile with everything that he does. So I'm gonna go ahead and settle on that for now. But like I'm also really into Nathan Williams because if you've seen anything that he's ever put out, it's just jaw dropping. He always is changing the game with everything. So I mean those are like my top two. So the next one we will go with Ty Arnett coming in with a photography related question, which I'm glad. He asked, "What's a perfect setup for you to you for taking the best photos? Could be equipment, the surrounding area, or even people who model. Give us perspective on some insight of yours." So this is a pretty open-ended question, I would say. It kind of varies depending on what I'm shooting. Obviously, like I love shooting BMX, so like if I'm shooting BMX, like that's the most ideal like situation to be in. I love shooting like all my friends and everything, but like when it comes down to it, I guess like my most preferred situation of shooting would be probably just like being out in the middle of nowhere in Iowa, just shooting landscapes. I absolutely love that. I fell in love with that in college, so I'll probably settle on that answer. But also just to expand, I guess I like shooting like everything. So if I'm like in a studio environment or something, I really love kind of just being having the lights off, having strobes, just kind of doing my thing. It's a cool environment to be in, and usually if you're like shooting with somebody else, like a model or something, that's usually a lot of fun. So I think that kind of answers that question. The next one, I guess, we'll go with the one with pants. That's one heck of an Instagram handle name. Glad you got some pants there, bud. But he asked, "How old were you when you started riding?" So when I look back on how old I was, probably like when I first started to like actually realize what BMX was and kind of like figured out that that's something that I really wanted to do. Probably like eighth grade, so I would have been like 13, I believe. Yeah, that's how old I was. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll jump down. We'll skip around here a little bit. Christian Dean didn't ask a question, but he said, "Let's session. I miss you. I miss, I miss you. I miss you too, dude. Can't wait to ride with you again sometime soon. You've been homie for a long time." Uh, let's see. Healthy Habits BMX asked me, "When's your next edit dropping?" That's a very good question. I don't really have a plan to throw out like like an edit of my own. I think it's a cool idea, but like as far as like time goes and everything, um, I don't know if I necessarily have time to do that. I'm kind of more focused on just like doing stuff with Station. I know we've got like a plan to like kind of do like a DVD at some point here in the near future. So that's kind of where all my motivation and all my writing is going to go towards is that. So be on the lookout for that. Hopefully that'll be dropping within like the next year or so. I know that there's talk of us going pretty hard this summer, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I know I'll have a single part in that, so that should be pretty exciting. Uh, Jeff Etzel said, "I love you. Love you too, dude. Always and forever." Uh, and he also asked, "Favorite beer, favorite food, and why are you so good looking?" It's a good question. I don't think I'm that good looking, but I appreciate the flattering comment. My favorite beer, like I said, all my favorites kind of I don't really choose favorites, so um, I've been drinking a lot of Coors Banquet all the time just because I'm hanging out with Braden and Austin 24/7, so that's usually what they're drinking. Braden's got one in his hand right now. Coors
Hey.
Banquet, hook us up or not. It'd be dope if you did. But let's see. I'll narrow it down to my top three. How's that sound? I'll do like PBR, Heineken, Coors Banquet. Done. Uh, and then we got the favorite food. Dude, food's awesome. Like, I don't know how to really choose a favorite when it comes to food. I've always been a big pasta guy my whole life. Anything without, like, Alfredo sauce is usually my go-to move. Also, anything sweet. I love cookies. All right. Next question comes from the young buck himself, Johnny Garrett. He asked, growing up riding BMX, who did you look up to? I don't know. I think I kind of looked up to a lot of people who were riding around the BMX scene, just because like seeing how good they were, um, and just like I don't know, just like kind of wanting to be on their level of riding, and they were usually my main source of inspiration because they were just right out my back door. So I probably have to say definitely Jeff because he's definitely a little bit older, and we weren't friends right away just because of the age gap thing. So like always seeing him ride was rad just because he's so damn good, and just like T Rex, Bart Geese, Wade O'Neill, way back in the day. Yeah, those guys were really rad. So I definitely used them as inspiration and kind of looked up to them when I was like first starting out. And then he also asked another one and said, "Do you find yourself progressing more when riding by yourself or riding with us goons?" I think definitely feeding off other people's energy is something that I've gravitated more towards. I get kind of bored riding by myself. Uh, it's nice when you have other people there to like kind of watch you do some stuff, and it kind of gives you that extra added motivation to kind of hype you up, and just kind of when you're by yourself, you don't really have that like added motivation. You're just kind of there to just kind of have some fun by yourself, and you're not really taking everything too seriously. But I mean, I don't take anything really that seriously. But when you're riding with people, it's just I don't know. There's just that energy that's there that kind of helps you get through the session and have a lot of fun and focus on like trying to do some certain tricks. So. Let's see here. We got oh no, it's not good. Why did that turn off? All right, where were we? Let's keep on going down the list here. BMX Edwin. Edwin, I can't remember your last name. Man, I'm so sorry. I want to say it's Garcia, but like, it is Garcia? Yeah, okay. I don't want to like, okay, never mind. Edwin Garcia asked, when did you start riding and who got you into it? So, I don't think anybody necessarily like got me into it. I kind of got into myself and kind of by accident. I started riding like with like a bunch of like the neighborhood hood rats who were just kind of like riding bikes, jumping off curbs and stuff. And we lived in like kind of like a little undeveloped area when I first moved here, so we had like empty plots of land that we could go and like just build like little dirt jumps and stuff like that. So I just really liked doing that. I kind of like hopped on a skateboard for a little bit, but that wasn't anything too exciting for me. So I just kept on staying with the BMX riding, and it kind of just kept on progressing from there. From like getting like a mongoose to like a Miraco to a standard, and then a couple other frames after that. But yeah, it's just kind of been with me for a good majority of my life since I can remember. So that's definitely where I got my start riding, was just kind of hanging out in the neighborhood, just not too far from home, building dirt jumps and just having a blast. go ahead and whose shoulders? Who is that? Do you know who that is?
Is
It's
it
Seth. That's
from
Seth.
like Oski?
Seth from Oski. Shoulders asked, "What's your favorite skate park you've ridden and favorite street setup?" Those are two really easy answers. Favorite skate park I've ever ridden is Davenport Skate Park. That's my favorite skate park. I've never rode any other skate park and like loved it so much. Then what was that other part that he'd asked? Favorite street setup. My favorite street setup was up in Waterloo. Big shout out to like the OG rollerbladers up there. They set up a nice like bank to rail spot, and I was thankful enough to like meet some folks up there who showed me where that spot was and kind of learn like the history of it and everything. And I love riding like flat rails and stuff, and that was just like such a unique setup that I'd never seen before. So I always try to get out there whenever I was living up there. There's endless amounts of fun on that thing. So definitely that bank trail setup. I'm like shaking. I'm so cold again. All right. Let's see. TSBZ423, my man BZ from Platteville, Wisconsin, I think. He asked, when did you start taking photos, and what's the favorite photo you've taken? I started taking photos like my freshman year of high school, I believe. I just like took a photography elective because I thought it was gonna be really easy, and it ended up being really easy. But I ended up like loving the shit out of it. It was just so much fun, and um, I didn't think I was any good, but people were telling me that they liked all my photos and whatnot, and the teacher had a lot of good things to say about me, and you know, up until then, I never really knew what I wanted to do, so I was just like, well, this is pretty sick. I've got a good outlet to, you know, with BMX to like take photos of that and kind of grow from there. So, yeah, freshman year of high school is when I started taking photos, and then my favorite photo that I've ever taken was probably, I don't remember the exact time, but I think it was like summertime, and I was just kind of cruising around, like middle of nowhere, Iowa. This was when I was living in Waterloo, going to college, and I had previously found this cool scenery where it was like cornfield, soybean field, and a farm in the back, and I was like, damn, that looks really dope. Like, that'd be a cool panoramic shot. And one day I had a free day and was kind of out, and there was like a bunch of clouds in the sky, and they're all like really scattered, and it was windy, so like they're moving really quickly, and they're casting these cool shadows on the fields and everything, and it looked really rad, and it was such a special time. And so I like parked there for a little while and sat on the top of my car and just had a bag of sunflower seeds, my tripod, my camera, and I was there for like probably just an hour just because it was so beautiful. And so what I was trying to do is take this panoramic shot, getting the field, the barn, the corn, all in that one shot, just because that basically encompasses what Iowa's about, or what, like, you know, what Iowa represents. And so I ended up getting the shot. I was really stoked on it because you know, all the hard work that you put in as far as like in the time of finding the location, spending the time there, and all the post-processing work. So I'm sure Braden or somebody can find the photo and put it in the video because it's really dope. I like it. It's for sale, by the way. Shameless plug. Alright, so let's see. And then he had also asked, are you the host of To Catch a Predator? Seems like you have that trick on lock. You know, funny as it is, they actually called me and asked me if I wanted to take the position, but, you know, budget wasn't there. So I denied it, but yeah, I love that trick. It's a lot of fun. I'd like to say that I have it on lock. It's really easy. Just for anybody who's out there trying to learn it, it's very easy once you get the hang of it. It's like second to none. It's so fun. So yeah, missed my opportunity on To Catch a Predator, but maybe when they got enough money to pay me, it'll happen. Okay. Little Joey, Joe Schwab BMX. He asked, "Do you remember when I met you and introduced you to the Waterloo boys?" I do, just like it was yesterday. Um, those are great times, honestly. That was probably like what made me just like, or made me content with being in Waterloo, was all you dudes up there and having some people to ride with and whatnot. That definitely got me through those times. And you know, you guys were on a completely different level of riding than you were when than you are now, and it's so sick to see that. It's so sick to be able to ride with you guys outside of Waterloo and have sessions. You know, just whenever we get the chance, it's always a treat. So, of course, I remember that, Joey. And he also, well, this was a statement, not a question, but he said, "Thanks for helping me progress, and thanks for always taking some photos of me." You're so welcome, dude. So welcome. All right, we'll keep it going with the Waterloo question. Jake Break BMX, my man Jake Clark, one of the best dudes that I've ever met. He's a great guy. Favorite memories from being in Waterloo, living and riding. Favorite memories riding Waterloo would probably just be any street sessions or skate park sessions that we had. Uh, yeah, those are pretty rad. There's a lot of good street up there, and RIP the Riverside Skate Park. That prefab park was also one of my favorite parks that I've ever ridden. Yeah, everybody when we'd all get together and ride up there, that was just a blast. I really liked that. But living in Waterloo, I don't know. There's not a lot of good shit that really happened to me up there. But my neighbor Chris Style, the local Waterloo rapper, and I'm not gonna throw him under the bus. Like, he sold me weed every once in a while, but he lived right next door. We'd always hang out. He'd show me his rap videos. He also tattooed and stuff out of his apartment, but I never got the courage to let him tattoo me because, yeah, he did some okay stuff. But living up there was pretty cool, and it just being like able to like access like being out in the middle of nowhere so quickly. Like where I was out in the boondocks already, but like I'd drive like 15 minutes and just be middle of nowhere. Is a perfect place to take photos and yeah, definitely. Okay.
Got one while you're waiting.
So what'd you say?
Tell me about the wonderful memories coming home from LA and the exciting interactions you had.
Oh,
Yes, on rest stops.
yeah. So Braden just asked any exciting events that had happened on my way home from LA. Yeah, so it was definitely exciting for sure. But I stopped at a rest stop and it was like I stopped there to sleep and like the next morning I got up, you know, do my thing, you know, take a shit and then go and brush the teeth and whatever. So this like rest stop was kind of popping off, and so I was in the stall taking a poop, and just like minding my own business, obviously, because that's what you do when you poop, and like I hear like some commotion outside of the stall that I'm in, and I'm like what the fuck's going on, and next thing I know, I hear some dude just like drop and like hits his head on the stall door, and is like 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 seizing out, and he's just like he has his head pretty much like underneath the stall door, and I'm just sitting there just like looking at him, and he's just like kind of like you know how seizures are, and so he's having a seizure right in front of me, and I don't know what to do because I'm not in my best situation to help somebody out at that point. And thank God the guy like had some buddies in there, and they took him out, and like he got up, and like everybody's like, I just hear him talking like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, he's fine." And that was the end of that. But that was just weird and crazy. I couldn't believe that happened. It was so. I mean, I hope the dude's all right, but it was kind of funny. uh, so yeah, that was pretty funny. I drove like 14 hours too, like the whole like minute I left my apartment from LA, drove all the way like past Albuquerque, New Mexico. It was crazy. It's so beautiful down there. If you ever get a chance, I'd highly recommend going down south. You have any on the spot questions you got right now? Might as well.
Not yet, but I'll think
Okay. All right, so jumping back into my notes here, we'll go with a couple that my good buddy Austin Engstrom asked me. He said, "What is your favorite trick, and what trick would you like to learn?" I don't like picking favorites, but some of the tricks that feel the best to me are doing a super nice like foot jam whip on a bank, like where you can kind of like you throw it and you just kind of like lean over, slow it down a little bit, spot your pedals, and hop back on. That's such a sick feeling. I love that. I like doing 360s too. Those have always been really fun. And tie rides too. Like when you lock into a good tie ride, it's like the coolest feeling. Like looking down and just like seeing nothing on each side, just like cruising across the rail. That's dope. And then let's see, one trick that I would like to learn. Well, I've always wanted to learn tail whips, so I'll probably just say tail whips, just because that's like the core BMX trick, you know. And you know, someday we'll see. Okay, so Austin also asked, "You've been around the block with BMX. What's your favorite BMX memory?" There's a lot to choose from there. Favorite BMX memory would probably be just like riding around the streets in downtown LA and just like kind of cruising around the city that way. Just exploring. It's like the reason why you ride a BMX bike is because it's like an outlet to just go anywhere and see a bunch of cool shit. So that was definitely really cool. I was down in LA once and accidentally ran into who was it? Dakota Roche, Ty Morrow, Vish, Andrew Castaneda. That was really crazy. I was just like doing my Postmates run and like going back home, and I was like, oh shit, some BMX riders. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit, there's some BMX riders there. And and I just stopped and said, hey, what's up? But it was a trippy moment. That was cool. But you know, like any session that we have down at Davenport when all the homies are there, and you know, that's always just a blast. Just like being with like your core group of dudes who are just, you know, having as much fun as you are on a bike. That's awesome. All right, let's see what else we got here. Dude, I'm flying through these right now.
Alright, now they're on the spot.
Alright, what?
So, tell me about the time you nearly decapitated your leg.
Oh god, yeah. This is the stupidest story. This was a good Waterloo BMX memory. I was cruising I think I was with Cody Fickin and Brandon McGowan and some two Waterloo legends, and we were like riding this like super cutty like sketchy spot, and there was like this like L ledge type thing that I was trying to ride, and like I was just messing around and went to go try to like ride on this ledge and foot plant this one and completely missed my foot. And this is like a jagged concrete ledge, and completely just like missed my foot, went down, hit my shin on the corner of that ledge, and like I'd hit my shin plenty of times on pedals and whatnot, and I was just like, ow, this really hurts. And so I saw some like blood on my pants and like pulled up my pant leg and like watched my skin move across my bone and just immediately got freaked out, and I had like this crazy gash on my shin, which is like the worst place to have happen, because when you get stitches in your shin, they put you in like a boot and like you're on crutches and you're like, dude, I just have stitches, but like it's so tight there that like you can't like bend your leg or anything. And yeah, we went to the emergency room. They stitched me up. I got like 12 stitches in my shin, and freaking Brandon's over there just like shooting photos of it, thinks it's the coolest thing ever, and I'm just over there just like woozy as shit. But yeah, that was crazy. That sucked so bad. I do not want to have that happen again. That was terrible, but cool. That it? Alrighty. Okay. jumping back into these. This is kind of a random one. Kind of an inside joke, but Harris asked me, crank flip a day, as you all know. How's Starbucks? It's good, dude. It's good. Ain't shit changed. Alright, colorblind Nick. Nick Den Hartog, I think. Sorry, dude. Sorry. What's your biggest accomplishment outside of BMX? So I did a lot of thinking about this one. And even though I hated it, well, I didn't hate it, but like, I hate school. I hate having to go to classes and do assignments. It's never been my thing, but I graduated college with an Associates of Arts in commercial photography and ended up getting like 4 awards on our last day of school, which was really awesome. I was super stoked on that, but graduating college was definitely probably a big accomplishment just because like I never really planned on going to college or anything, but you know, it was hell, but you know, I did it, and you know, I guess I'm proud of that. So I know my mom's proud, so that's good. That makes me proud.
Shout out to your mom.
Shout out to my mom. Hope you're watching this, Mom. I haven't swore that much either, so I hope you're happy about that too. Okay, and then Nick asked another question. What's the hardest rail trick you've learned? Damn. I don't know. For some reason, I want to say ice picks. Or tire rides. I don't know. Braden just pointed at a tire.
Maybe like pegs tires or ice tires.
Ice tires is pretty hard to do. That one just like it usually just happens by accident. So I guess that just ice picks though. Just like it's been such a weird like love-hate trick for me, because I don't know. It's just so hard to find that balance point, and I was never good with manuals or anything. So, so yeah. Once I got those down, I was pretty stoked. But I mean, those have been my hardest trick, and I guess tire rides too, just because there's nothing really that easy with those. But if you want to learn them on like a square rail or something. And then we'll just keep it going. Nick asked, best BMX tricks so far, or best BMX trip, excuse me, so far, and future plans for others. Well, so my best BMX trip so far probably it wasn't much of a trip for me, but you know, my best friends, Braden and Austin, came out to LA when I was out there, and we had a really solid week of just like exploring and riding bikes, and you know, like coming from the Midwest, that's always a dream to like be out there with your friends and riding BMX, and it was just one of the most freeing experiences that I've had, and we had a blast, and yeah, I don't know, that was really great. So, but I mean, it wasn't much of a trip for me, but like it was a trip having them out there for sure. That was really sick. And then what was the other one? And future plans for others. Well, this is a good opportunity for me to maybe plan a trip because I don't have any planned right now. So, I don't know. Me and Austin and Jared Buckaloo went out to Colorado like the end of fall, I believe. And yeah, just last year. And so that was a lot of fun, but like we didn't get to do nearly as much stuff as we wanted. The skate parks out there were just too good, so we just ended up riding those pretty much. But I don't know, I'd really like to go back out there because I know there's so much stuff to explore, and there's trails out there which I really want to ride. So yeah, maybe we can get something together and go out to Denver, Colorado at some point.
With slightly less Jack involved.
With slightly less Jack Daniels involved. Yeah, that's for sure, because that was a bummer for Austin. It was so funny. First night of the trip too. Okay. And let's see here. Oh, Nick coming in with all the questions, my man. He asked, "How is Callie, and do you miss it?" It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. Definitely. There's like it's like a love-hate thing for sure, just because of how much it costs to live out there, and just like everything involved with LA, like the traffic, just the cost of living. Like I had to get food stamps when I was out there. That's how bad it was. But it was sick because food stamps, yeah, that saved my life. But yeah, and just like parking, I was in Koreatown, so like finding a parking spot with my truck was just an absolute pain, like every day. And it's just like some unneeded stress that you have in your life, which I know for sure I didn't need. But like also, riding BMX out there was like the best thing ever, and on the photography side of things, like I met so many cool people, so many talented people out there who just, um, showed me a lot. Shout out to my man Brian, who took me in and taught me a lot of things about that. But yeah, man, just being able to go to like to the beach 1 hour and then like drive like maybe like 30 minutes and you'd be in the mountains, just like having a crazy beautiful view, like it's just breathtaking. So yeah, I guess I do miss it. I miss certain aspects of it, but I would like to go back out there, just not at this point in my life. It wouldn't make any sense. But yeah, it was great and I do miss it. So this is the last question. So this comes from my best friend Braden Moore. Asked me, your music selections have always been second to none. Who are your top three musicians? Well, top three musicians. So it like varies with genres of music. How do you want me to do that? Like, because I'm bad at picking favorites. I like so much music. I like so many different artists.
Just top three comes to mind right now. Any genre.
Okay, so I guess this is easy. Neil Young is has always been one of my favorites. Bonavere, super talented dude. He's crazy with his music. Uh, and let's see, this is in no particular order. For 2 and 3, Neil Young is at the top for sure. But third one would be, I guess I would say Jimmy Page, Led Zeppelin guitarist. Dude he's out of this world. Out of this world. His guitar playing is just insane. So yeah, those are my top 3 favorite musicians. Cool. Any other questions? Anything? No. Oh, I also asked myself, how's everything? Everything's pretty good, dude. Thanks for asking. Yeah. All right. Alrighty. So appreciate everything. Appreciate all the questions. Appreciate all you dudes. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, my bike. Braden was just pointing out. So, I guess like what I ride. Everything.
Just kind of a
Should I name every single part?
Yeah, every single part.
Every single part?
spec.
Every spec. I don't know that. Are you kidding? So I just recently picked up a Fiend Colin Varanak frame, which is pretty dope. Shout out to Healthy Habits for hooking me up with that. The thing's been pretty fun. This is like my first colored frame, so it's pretty cool. I like green. I got like some fly bars, I think, a fly stem. These cranks I've been riding for like 4 years, literally. Demolition Revolt cranks. Yeah, I've had them forever. So Demolition Revolt cranks. Merit wheels, or Merit rims, I guess. Animal tires. Colin Varanek seat. It's pretty solid. This is like the most solid bike I've ever had, because all my other like past bikes have been hand-me-downs, and I mean they've been good, but like my bikes always rattle or something's always
If any
loose.
of you guys know Levi, the entire time that I've known him, okay, just about the entire time.
Oh yeah.
His bike's always either been just like super creaky, super rattly. When we first met him, his headset like was never even tightened down. So I'm pretty sure he overliced his frame.
It don't change nothing though, cause I be riding the same. It's no big deal, but it's cool to like have like a solid bike where I can like pick it up, drop it, and there's like no sounds.
15 psi on the tires.
15 psi. Well, there's more than that. It's like 30, so that doesn't change much. But yeah, that's my bike. And I don't know. Hopefully, like all those questions were answered to, you know, how everybody wanted to hear them. And so yeah, I appreciate you guys asking, and you know, like once again, I appreciate all you dudes. BMX is such a cool thing, and I'm super thankful for it. It's given me like, I don't want to say like a purpose, but it's like had such a big impact on my life where um, I'm just eternally grateful for everything this thing has let me do, everything that it's given me. Damn, yeah, it's been rad. Uh, so yeah, guys, thanks so much. Thank you for tuning in. What? What Johnny? You're so funny. Mention Johnny's next video. What is that? What's it? Oh, Johnny's gonna be doing the next video, so that should be whatever. Well, that should be really exciting. Johnny's such an interesting little kid. Here we go. Braden's coming in with his blinding.
There we go.
Yeah, so Johnny's going to be the next station broadcast. So if you guys got any cool questions for him, definitely hit him up. Hit up the station account. But once again, thank you guys so much. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at The Station Crew. Subscribe to our YouTube channel because we're doing that now. And follow us on Twitter, Vine, everything, all of the above. We got a Facebook page. Yeah, you'll find Braden's Tinder account on there. But yeah, cool. We out.